This is 10693 Q in Johannesburg. My number is +27 82 456 9264. You shall surely be blessed. May God bless you, and I look forward to receiving you. Amen.
Good evening. How are you tonight? I welcome you tonight to another edition of Shekinah Online. And I want to welcome you, especially if you're watching me for the first time. And I so thank you, and I'm grateful for you to be with me tonight. And I pray that as we get into this new topic, which has to do with our life, our leadership, the way we run our family, the way we run our marriage, the way we run our business and organizations. And I'm talking about the dark side. How do we become aware of the dark side? But before I go into the depth of our discussion today, I want to also extend to you the invitation to our upcoming leadership seminar that is coming up from the 24th to the 26th of August. This is the leadership seminar with some ministerial competencies that has been designed into it. We're going to be looking at various leadership theories, leadership concept, and at the same time the spiritual aspect of a leader as it impacts your leadership style, your ethical behaviors. We're going to be looking at your finances. How do you plan for your finances or plan with your finances, and the way that you steward the resources that is in your hand. Other topics we're going to look at is vision methodology. As a leader, there are ways and approach by which you start to implement your vision as to fulfill your purpose. So it's going to be a all-round seminar. There's so much content in it. And I want to invite you specially to support it and to be there with us on the 24th to the 26th of August this year, just next month. And again, registration is required. Please go to www.shekinah-institute.org and please register. The announcement I made last week, I have some business friend who says we're going to support 5, we're going to support 3 people, but I want you to go and freely register because we have a scholarship of 50%. When I receive your application or your registration, will certainly place you on a 50% discount, and your fees covers your certificates, it covers course materials, meals, snacks, and all that. And so this is just our gift to you for this year 2023. In other areas, the content of this seminar are quite expensive, but we have made it available because we believe that we need to fulfill God's agenda on this earth, and leadership is the way forward. Leadership with the right influence, positive influence that will leave a lasting legacy, and at the same time take the followers, employees towards becoming a leader. And that is what we want to do in this seminar. So I look forward to see your registration. Please, you can forward me also on WhatsApp +27 82 456 9264, and I would love to receive your contact. May God bless you. Now today we're going to look at our new subject on dark side. Now, what is dark side? A dark side is the aspect of a destructive leaders, a behavior that is perceived to be negative towards others, and using the power to drive your way through intimidation, bullying, or forms. Narcissism, main part of it. And so we're going to be looking at it. How do you become aware of this dark side? Now, dark side is such a behavior that may be resident in you as many years in the past up to the present, and you take some of this character, this attitude into the current space that you are right now, either in business, either in church leadership, or you're a team leader in a corporate, any other organization. So dark side are such that people become unaware of it. And I'm bringing this subject, the awareness of your dark side, by being sensitive to the people around you, sensitive to behaviors that may indicate that you have some dark side which is coming out in your new space. Now, dark side also has been discussed or argued to be some form of situations of leaders whereby leaders feel lonely right at the top. And I mentioned that last week that, as a leader, for you to be aware of this, you need to be sensitive that do you have people around you? Are you taking up people with you as you go up, either as you rise in leadership, in corporate, within the organization? Do you take people with you? Even as you become, influential in life, as you become wealthy in life, do you take people with you, both the weak and the strong? And so the dark side of leadership has been argued to be, a life of loneliness. It's a dark side that not many leaders want to come and talk about it outside, nor do they have anybody to discuss with except their mates, and even their mates are going through theirs. So leadership has been, seen to be a level at the top that may be quiet, may be lonely, even within the workspace where you have your leadership. As a leader of leadership, also, you need to be aware if there exists your dark side or manifestation of your dark side. Dark side are purely negative behavior. That's why it's tagged to be a dark side. Some of those behavior that you have, uncontrollable, that you have, that you may not know about, but then it leaves, a sort of a consequences for your organization. It leaves a consequences on your marriages. So the awareness of dark side is to help you to be more effective, is to help you to create an harmonious environment for yourself so that you can achieve your vision, so that you can achieve the purpose for which you have created the organization or you have founded an organization. Perhaps you need to be aware of your dark side so that you can meet your goals in the organization that you lead or in the unit that you are a unit leader. So dark side is so important for you to understand, to be aware of it. And when you are aware of it, you are able to seek appropriate help, counseling, spiritual assistance, coaching, for example. These are ways how you can conquer it. But I'm dealing with the fact that you need to become aware of your dark side, those areas that may embarrass you. There are also addictions and attitude that you are hiding away, that you do not want people to discuss and you do not want help. It becomes a dark side because it's just a behavior, or it's just like a disaster waiting to happen when you are there at the top. So let's look at some words today that can give us this awareness of this dark side. Like I said last week, dark side is like your shadow which follows you. It's like your shadow which follows you. You cannot deny your shadow. So dark side is such that those behaviors, those attitudes that manifest from you subconsciously, that is part of you, yet it's very disruptive. And so you need to conquer this. And that is why I've come to really discuss it. Now we're going to look at the traits. And when we look at the traits, you yourself can become aware of those traits that shows that no, this is your dark side. According to A.B. Bruce, 1988, it says, one who knows his weakness or weaknesses may become strong even at a weak point. One who knows his weaknesses may become strong even at the weak point, but he who knows not his weak points cannot be strong at any point. So what Bruce is saying here is that, when you already become aware of your dark side, your very terrible anger, your narcissism, your bullying, you need to, when you become aware of it, you know that this is your weakness. And when you get to that situation, or when an environment provokes those dark side of yours, at that point, you become strong to overcome it. You become strong to suppress it. And that is what A.B. Bruce is saying there. He said, but he who knows not his weak point cannot be strong at any point. In other words, you always fall to your dark side. You always fall to those weaknesses. You always fall to your anger. You always fall, to those habits that you are battling to overcome because you have not become aware of it. And that is the word of A.B. Bruce. So I'm teaching about this awareness of your dark side. You may be a man, you may be a woman. A dark side does not know gender, but I know it's prevalent among males. But at the same time, there are women or females with a dark side. So the dark side is the attitude of a leader that is destructive or disruptive. The number one trait that we're going to look at of a dark side is narcissism. Narcissism is when you are self-absorbed, a self-absorbed leader, a self-absorbed spouse or business partner. That is what narcissism is. This is a kind of personality who only believes in his strength and no any other one. They do not encourage creativity in an organization. So in other words, when a narcissist leader in an organization always believe that he knows all and believe in his own strength, you find out that they do not encourage creativity in an organization or in an overall leadership setting. Maybe employees or the followers, it makes them to lose the sense of belonging when the leader is a narcissist. Being the head, for example, at your organization, without the consciousness of this dark side, you become a narcissist, like a time bomb which is waiting to detonate. And that is what it can cost when you are not aware of those side of you that is negative as a leader. If you are a leader with an inordinate behavior, as a narcissist, what happens is that you downplay any other opinion. Maybe your co-executives or co-worker, they always see you as a negative leader when you do not often buy into their opinions or suggestions. And so when you see such thing, you need to become aware of it, and you can handle it by allowing a free suggestion to be made. You must develop the ability to listen. And that's how you can become aware when you start seeing that people are trying to avoid discussion or being quiet. And maybe they are sending a signal. Then you create that environment whereby people can make their own opinion or suggestions. The same thing when a person is a narcissist, which is his dark side. The trait of narcissism is also what reflects in our marriages, in relationships, whereby a narcissist spouse undermines the order. They place themselves much in control of the other to the extent that the other spouse loses the self-esteem. And that's why we're saying that I'm saying the awareness of your dark side enables you to deal with certain behaviors, and the traits is what I'm highlighting here. The trait of a narcissism, when you want to be in control and makes others to be powerless, to be voiceless, and that is a trait of a narcissist. And I'm using the examples that we can see in our marriages or in marriages. You talk about abuse. Now, abuse also originates from the unawareness of the dark side from the onset. You find out that people take certain actions, speak in certain ways as to demean the other spouse. And so becoming aware of this helps us to create a loving environment. It helps you to create a peaceful home. It helps you to grow in that marriage when you become aware of any dark side that may lead to a disastrous relationship. And this is how you can really handle it, by becoming aware of it. Because, like I said, certain abuses, they originate from the fact that you are not conscious of certain things, of certain way of talking. You are not conscious that you are, you do not give room for other person's opinion. And that is a sign, it's a trait of narcissism, and that is in your dark side. No matter how loving you are, when your dark side, the trait of narcissism, outweighs your love, then there is no peace. And so you need to become aware of this, as to allow the light side, the bright side of you as a spouse to be more. And that's how you can have an harmonious home, a peaceful home. Because sometimes we see people that falls into this narcissism by overprotecting their ego. And when you overprotect your ego, you find out that chauvinism comes in. You are able to downplay anything that want to affect you, or any opinion of you. You don't take it easily. So you need to become aware of this, as for you to create a future for your marriage, for your family, and to secure it. So, for example, narcissistic husbands, you find out that the wives are submerged in themselves, around the home, and even in the public, especially when the man is present. So you find out that such people, they feel rejected oftentimes because of a narcissistic partner. They feel rejected because their opinion does not matter. In some cases, if it's a praying person, you find out that they often pray in an unknown tongues about the situation. So, what we're saying today, as you become aware of your dark side and look at the traits of a narcissistic personality in your relationship, you can be able to deal with it, and you can seek appropriate help. Either your workplace or at home environment, you need to take responsibility for this behavior, and you will have a peaceful environment. You have a creative environment. You have, environment or workplace or a marriage, for example, that is free of toxicity. And that is how you can enjoy this life. And you can keep your marriage, you can keep your relationship, and most importantly, you can keep your job. You can keep your business partnership. You need to check out if you have this trace of narcissism. Then you've become aware of your dark side and you can deal with it and seek appropriate help. Now, another trait that has been discovered is that when of a dark side personality, the trait that has also been discovered is the bullying aspect. The bullying aspect is a dark side of a leader who feels everyone must shiver at his presence. That's who a bully is. A bully is the one that believes himself so much. A bully is the one that at his presence, he wants to command respect that he does not earn. And that's what makes a person a bully. That they feel that it makes people to feel that they are below him. And these are the awareness of a dark side of such a personality. And if you feel that people are not free around you, you may need to check out the personality that you display. It may be a bullying personality, maybe the way that you talk to people on your arrival, maybe certain things are not put in place, when you become intolerant of people's behavior or certain mistake that they may make. You know, your low tolerance really can indicate that you bully people because of what they may have done wrong. So the aspect of bullying, the character of bullying is a dark side of that you need to be aware of if you can see these traits in your relationship with others and your subordinates. You know, when we talk about a bully, it's a behavior, a negative behavior that does not create an amiable environment. They intimidate subordinates instead of inspire them. They intimidate. They are impostors. And so you need to know how to deal with this kind of circumstances that really describes your personality in the way that you do not really like. Look, some of us may not have the charisma, but at the same time, there are ways by which you show that you want to accommodate people, that you are approachable, and that's the way that you can conquer this kind of personality, difference that you may have, so that you don't appear to be that you appear to be a bully around people. And then your style of communication also we help you to alleviate such personality and such dark side. So the trait of a bully, it needs to be dealt with, because so that you don't want to be misquoted, you don't want to be misjudged by either your height or by your weight. People feel somehow intimidated without you from inside. You are not. So becoming aware of these characteristics will help you to build certain relationship and to build your peaceful environment. So to be aware of this, you need to make people free, and then when you make them free, you can really be able to influence them or inspire them that are ready to be inspired, that are ready to be motivated. So to be aware of this, you have to be sensitive. You have to be sensitive. You have to be sensitive to the feelings of others. You have to be sensitive. You need much of emotional intelligence skills to feel for others. And that's why this bully can be, taken away. So you need to feel for others, and then you need much of emotional intelligence to gather these skills. You need to relate with them from the leadership point of view, not from position point of view. And that's another way for you to, to really deal with this aspect that may look as if you are a bully, which it tends to be a dark side for you. But having become aware of this, or of this insinuation, if I may say, or is an opinion of you, you need to deal with it in this way by creating a free environment and a free discussion. So you relate with people from leadership point of view, not from position point of view, and that allows them, to be free. Then also you allow them to make the mistake they have to make. You allow them to make a mistake, and they can always learn from the mistake. And so these are the ways by which you can, remove that character or that insinuation that, you seem to have a trait of a bully person. Now, finally, when we talk about these traits of being a bully, it's a dark side for some people who already that is their lifestyle, that is the way they relate with people, to impose themselves on people, impose themselves on their colleagues, and it does not really, sound well, nor give them a lasting relationship, even in business. Either you are in business and if people find you to be more aggressive, even though to be aggressive, it is good to drive your business initiative, to drive your organization, but at the same time, when your aggression becomes a bullying, then it does not really reflect well. It becomes your dark side that may work against you, not necessarily working for you, because we find out that research have also said that most companies don't mind the way the revenue is being generated. They don't mind the way the revenue is being generated, or they don't care how you meet your target, especially if you are a team leader. You drive your people, you drive your team, and you drive them and you drain them emotionally, because that is your nature. But at the end of the day, the consequence is that the company will start to lose people. The environment of your workplace becomes toxic. And that is what we're trying to say here, that it may be your dark side that is at play, even though you are getting result, but at the end of the day, the outcome will be disastrous. And that's why if bullying is a trait in your personality, you need to deal with it. You need to become aware of it so that you can, make your personality to balance it and let it work positively for you. And this is what we want to achieve in this model, this class. This is to help your leadership to make positive influence in your people and give them a sense of belonging and create the harmonious work environment or relationship or marriage environment. And that is why we're saying the awareness of your dark side. So finally, dark side is that behavior or character of a leader that is negative. And I have mentioned the traits of any personality with a dark side, which always show after them like a shadow. And one of those traits I've mentioned tonight is narcissism. And narcissism is a self-absorbed personality, a person who feels that he is the only one with the strength, a person who feels that he matters above others. That is who a narcissist is. And also mention a bullying, that a bullying is a trait that you need to watch out for. When you stand to intimidate other people, that is a sign of a bully. When other opinions does not matter, it's a sign of a bully. When people make mistake and you put them down by their mistake, it's a kind of a bullying. So as a leader, as a potential leader, you need to be aware of this dark side to create a lasting legacy or to make influence on people and to have people around you. So that is as much I would want to talk to you today, that be aware of any dark side that may ruin your business or your relationship or your leadership. And when you are aware of those dark side, you are preventing a time bomb in the future. Thank you for listening. This has been Abi Adenigba, the director of Shekinah Institute, South Africa. Now, before you go, I want to remind you of our upcoming seminar, which is Leadership and Ministerial Program. This is a balanced seminar for you that covers your spiritual life, that shows you certain leadership concept that will help you to build your organization, to build your church, to build your business. Various leadership concepts will be discussed. And again, we're going to expose you to a process of vision methodology. That is how to unleash your vision. You cannot sit with your vision without implementation. So that is also, we're going to discuss that. We're going to look at your financial literacy. How should you manage your finances, and how should you start to create wealth? So it's a whole fully packed 3-day seminar, and it's a value for money. You can invest in yourself, and you will see in the future, you will refer back to it. I've gone through all that, and I want you to go through the same thing to have stability in your life, in your business, in your ministry. May God bless you for hearing me tonight. This is Abi Adenigba. If you are listening to me for the first time, God bless you, and I'll see you next week by the grace of God. We continue on this topic on the awareness of dark side. Thank you so much. God bless you. Amen. For God works all things for the good of them that love him, for the good of them who are called according to his purpose.
Our address, physical services, 106 9th Road, King in Johannesburg. My number is +27 82 456 9264. You shall surely be blessed. May God bless you, and I look forward to receiving you. Amen.